Sean, I remember seeing a young boy with boundless energy and determination trying to play tennis with his dad. I was so fascinated that I asked your dad if I could train you. You were a wonderful, disciplined student, always supported by your parents on the sidelines. After a few years, you became a top-level player. I recall asking you at around 10 or 11 if you wanted to play college tennis. Your response was, "No, I want to focus on academics," which impressed me greatly. Based on this, I have a list of questions. 1. Can you share a bit about your high school tennis experience? 2. How did you start organizing charitable events even while still in high school, I believe? 3. Who has benefited from these events over time? 4. What inspires you? 5. What are you doing now and where do you see yourself in the future?
Hey Rick, thanks for taking the time to interview me. It's always great catching up with you and talking about tennis. You're one of my first coaches and one of the best coaches I had, so it's always a pleasure. A bit about my high school tennis experience. I'd say it was pretty different than most people. Obviously, we had the COVID year in 2020 where our season had to be canceled, and it was honestly, it's very sad for a lot of high school players, not just tennis, but in every sport, especially for the seniors, myself included. We wanted that closure, that last season before we headed off to college. So yeah, starting with that, and I guess my journey with high school tennis is, at first I was unsure if I wanted to play in it. Just because I didn't know if that was the trajectory I wanted to go, to play college tennis or to just play for fun, and how to balance tennis and schoolwork and life. So I went in very unsure. I decided to play my freshman year, and it was a blast. I absolutely loved it. I'm glad I was exposed to the team environment in high school. It was very, very fun. It's very different than the competition in USTA, which I would say is way more intense, and it's more like you 1v1, you versus the other guy, and it really emphasized that team aspect, which I really liked. And I ended up only playing 2 years out of 4, which is honestly, looking back, it's a little bittersweet. I wish I could go back in time and play those 2 years, but I'm happy where I am now, and I still try to keep playing tennis whenever I can, and hopefully we get to hit again one day, Rick, when I come back to KC. And then in terms of how I started organizing 40 Love, basically there was not a lot of support for 40 Love at first initially, just because there wasn't a similar initiative in the area. I think especially since I was only 15 years old, sophomore in high school, starting a 501c3 nonprofit and by myself, at first no one was going to believe in it, believe in the cause, just because it hasn't been done before. But once it started gaining traction a little bit, there were a lot of people that started believing in the organization and believing in our mission, which I'm very glad. We were able to come together as a community and really battle the stigma against homelessness, and us raise funds for uplift and unite the community in difficult times, especially during the COVID year, which I can talk about in a little bit. I started organizing I guess I started going to these local businesses with flyers, and I would ask them to speak at their events, speak to their customers, hang flyers on the walls. I wasn't very familiar with social media, like outreach, but I had to get used to trying different advertising techniques with different social media platforms, seeing what sticked, reaching out to local restaurants and chains. Like Chipotle was pretty big in advertising for us, Panera Bread, Panda Express, Yogurtini, just to partner with them for a day and do like a 30% or 20% give back night, just to raise more money as well as get our name out there. And it was very difficult at first, but just pushing through with it and getting a decent turnout the first time, and then people started seeing like our impact. We raised more than $1,000 the first time, and then even almost double the second time around, and we were able to get or hit national headlines the COVID year. It was very special, and I'm glad that I'm still doing it and adding in more things, which I can talk about more. In terms of who's benefited in these events over time, Uplift, obviously, it's to give you a little bit more background. Uplift organization is a homeless outreach program. It's a mobile street program in KC that drives their vans to homeless camps 3 nights a week, and they serve around 250 to 400 homeless people, and they give them food, clothes, medicine, water, all the supplies that they may need, and really just help them through difficult times. And they serve regardless of religion, of gender, sexual orientation, race. And it was the organization that survived off of base of solely on donations, which was what really stuck out to me, and why I picked Uplift over other organizations in KC. And through volunteering with them, seeing how hard they work in the warehouses, whether it's 100 degrees outside or below freezing. I know I worked with Kathy extensively. She is a former president of Uplift, and it didn't matter how late or how early, how hot, how cold it was. She was there almost every single day, and just that devotion from her was what really made me choose Uplift. So I'd say Uplift is who the organization benefits, but also the greater Kansas City community and tennis players, the young crowd, and honestly everybody that cares about fighting for such a good cause. It's a really great way for people of all ages, all tennis skill levels, friends, acquaintances, or people that haven't even met or picked up a tennis racket to come together for a good cause. It's great. It's a very fun time, and you can definitely see there is a very friendly environment where people bonded over, and we had raffles going on, and it's just overall is a great way to unite the community. I'd say Uplift won, we won, and the greater Kansas City community benefited as well. In terms of who inspired me, my dad is why I started this foundation. He was homeless for 2 years in Kansas City and 5 years total, ever since he escaped from Vietnam during the war. There's a backstory to that, which I talk about in a different segment, but yeah, that's why I started. Just seeing how the impact that I think we can make, because oftentimes we don't really see the person from outside their homeless condition. In terms of who inspired me, I'd say my dad was the reason I started this nonprofit organization. He was homeless in Kansas City for 2 years and 5 years in total, ever since he escaped Vietnam during the war. And yeah, I created this organization just because I feel like there was no, I guess, centralized message or theme to that really painted a picture for the Kansas City community in terms of what is homelessness, like what is the stigma against it, and why we should work on destigmatizing it, and what are some of the causes, reasons that people do become homeless. Is it because it's their fault or reasons out of their control, and then what health implications comes out of that? And I think there's a lack of understanding in the community, and also I feel like there was that Uplift specifically could have used my help. We raised 6% of their revenue in 2022, which was a big chunk, for, I guess, starting out um, as a high schooler, which I was very pleased with. So yeah, that's what inspired me. It's what's keeping me going as well. I want to do this for as many years as possible, and I don't plan to stop anytime soon. And in terms of what I'm doing now and where I see myself in the future, I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Medicine. I am currently about to start rotations. I want to do spine surgery. And in terms of where I see myself in the future, I guess that's up to the match process. A match process is basically when you're a fourth-year medical student, you submit applications to what you want to do, like what you want to specialize in. And I guess both the schools rank you and you rank the schools, and then the system kind of matches you randomly, so you don't really know where you're going to end up into, I guess, the best fit program. So yeah, we'll see where the match process takes me, but yeah, I'm obviously open to whatever program matches with me the best. What are some of the causes, reasons that people do become homeless? Is it because it's their fault or reasons out of their control, and then what health implications comes out of that? And I think there's a lack of understanding in the community, and also I feel like there was that uplift specifically could have used my help. We raised 6% of their revenue in 2022, which was a big chunk for, I guess, starting out as a high schooler, which I was very pleased with. So yeah, that's what inspired me. It's what's keeping me going as well. I want to do this for as many years as possible, and I don't plan to stop anytime soon. And in terms of what I'm doing now and where I see myself in the future, I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Missouri, Kansas City School of Medicine. I am currently about to start rotations. I want to do spine surgery. And in terms of where I see myself in the future, I guess that's up to the match process. A match process is basically when you're a fourth-year medical student, you submit applications to what you want to do, like what you want to specialize in. And I guess both the schools rank you and you rank the schools, and then the system kind of matches you randomly, so you don't really know where you're going to end up into, I guess, the best fit program. So yeah, we'll see where the match process takes me, but yeah, I'm obviously open to whatever program matches with me the best.